Hi everyone, welcome to UTV Gooner and our show, The Shooting Lone Star with Ram from the Austin Gooners. Hey bro, how are you?
Hey, what's up, bro? It's been a fun week, man. Just trying to recover from Gooner Graw, spending a bunch of time with a bunch of United States of America Gooners from across all the 50 states. Had a good time in New Orleans, Louisiana. Beautiful town, beautiful people, great food. It was fun, man. We got to see the women beat Liverpool 2-0 on Sunday, the last day we were there. A little disappointed, obviously, that we didn't have a men's match to go along with it because it was FA Cup weekend and we all know how that turned out. But overall, a good time, good week. 2 wins in a row, dating back to the other game we had. I forget who we played, but yeah, Nottingham Forest, big win. And as we were talking about before we went live, massive game coming up and the game of the year, man. Everything's up for it.
Yeah, bro, huge game. That event, I remember you telling me you were going to go to it, and I've heard a lot about it. It seems like a really fun event and massive. Like a lot of people go to it from, as you said, all from all across America.
Yeah, absolutely, man. A lot of people from everywhere. I mean, well, I wouldn't say that. I mean, you might get like one or two people from like all the different branches and stuff. A lot of people from Houston, Austin, San Antonio, because it's closer. So it's kind of a regional thing. I know like Chicago, which is in the Northwest, they have their own little event like that. And a lot of the Northwestern branches go there. So it just kind of depends how close New Orleans is to you. But yeah, we still had a good time and met a lot of new people, man. And one thing about it, man, regardless of who you run into or where you run into them, like there's a certain like kinship you build with somebody when first of all, if like they're a soccer fan, um, and then if they're an Arsenal fan, obviously it just kind of takes it a step further, you know? So yeah, it was really cool to just hang out with people who enjoy the same team that I do and the same sport.
Yeah, bro, I meet so many fans of ours from America when I'm filming after our games here. It's from all over America. It's massive. We're following all the different supporters groups we have in America. It's huge, man, and great to see, bro. So yeah, as you say, man, massive game coming up for us against Liverpool. Before we get into that, though, let's talk about the Nottingham Forest game. Vital game that was. We had to get the 3 points. We did that. We dominated the game. Couldn't score in the first half, but then we got the goal through Jesus in the second half. Midway through that, got a second goal quickly after that as well. I mean, it was looking really comfortable. But then we conceded that late goal, which made it shaky for us for the last few minutes. And Forest were really pushing to try and get an equaliser, but we held on. Got a good 2-1 win. Really important.
Yeah, man. I was looking online after the game, and there was a lot of people who were talking about like just how bad of a performance it was. And granted, it's not the best. Like, obviously, there's things we need to work on, continue to work on. Excuse me, but I don't think it was all that bad. I mean, we dominated up until they scored the goal in the 89th minute. They never really threatened. It was almost gave me that feel of like can't remember what game it is. It might have been Crystal Palace or somebody where we ended up winning one nil late. But like I never felt like we were in danger of losing that match. And for me, like that's almost good enough. And I thought we dominated. We had a lot of good chances to score. I thought toward the end of the first half, I mean, we started looking better. And Jesus had a really tough miss right up in front of goal, right, that hit the post. And even him, I mean, all of us, everybody was just like, "Oh, what the hell just happened? Like, come on, bro, you got to hit that." And then the goal he hits was just an absolute insane angle. And then the goal that he does, the pass that he makes to Saka scoring off his weak foot. I think everything you have to say, regardless, and I'll get to the goal we gave up in a minute. But I think the kind of goals that we scored um, were good for our confidence. You know what I mean? Saka scored off his weak foot. Um, Jesus scored a really difficult goal. Now you could say, oh, you could joke around and say like, oh, he misses the easy ones, scores the hard ones. But sometimes that's what you need, man. Sometimes you just got to have it go in the back of the net. And before he made that, it had been X amount of games since he scored for us. And, I've been hearing the podcast and even thinking myself, like, hey, man, we might have to consider maybe switching out and putting Nketiah in there or, something to kind of shake things up a little bit. But he scored the goal, man, and he had the assist. And he walks away with man of the match. So it was really, I mean, I think it was just a really good confidence boosting performance for our attackers. The goal we gave up, yes, really dumb. Um, you could tell, I mean, it happened as soon as, we felt good enough with that 2-0 lead that we started making subs and getting other players minutes and what have you. And then it was just really annoying that we gave up that goal and we had to we had to take out Odegaard. I believe we took out Zinchenko as well to kind of shore up the defense. It was a little annoying to give up that kind of goal. Obviously, you don't want to do that, but I thought we tightened up right after that, and they may have had some half chances here and dominated a little bit of the possession, but we walked away with 3 points, man. And ultimately, as you said, as I will always say, like it's all that matters, right? 3 points. Who cares how we do it? Especially when we're in a title race with the monsters that we're chasing, man. So nervy, but Nottingham Forest plays really difficult at home, and I thought we handled it well, and we move on. We move on to the next one.
Yeah, for sure, bro. As you said, for Jesus, I give him a lot of confidence. Hopefully, he plays well all the time. We know he always works hard and very creative player, really good on the ball. It's just he said it himself that the goal scoring side of things is not his strongest point. But hopefully, that'll give him some confidence. We need him to stay fit and be scoring goals for us. As we know, transfer window's closed now as well. We'll get into that as well in a minute. About no transfer business being done. So we've got to work with what we've got, and hopefully Jesus can really go on a good run of scoring goals for us. At the end of the game, we saw Zinchenko and Ben White arguing, and as you know, the media make a big deal out of it, but it's small. You're gonna have disagreements in any line of work you do, and they were disagreeing about something, and it seems like it was the goal we conceded. What went on with that, and then we saw Arteta coming out afterwards saying he likes it. That's what he wants. He wants the players to push each other, to be challenging each other, and it was great to see that. We want that kind of passion and that will to just want to always be improving each other and working to get better.
Yeah, it's also quite the opposite. It's crazy because they will trash talk Arsenal for over celebrating a victory, and then they kind of made a big deal out of of two players continuing to wanting to be better, not necessarily even celebrating a victory, which they should have been celebrating. But it's also not a bad thing that they were going after each other a little bit, having heated discussion. Anybody who's ever played any level of sport knows that you get a little bit emotional with it, what goes on. So, as Arteta said, like, kind of want to see that, and I agree, man. Like, in fact, maybe if there was one little criticism I've had of the team of the past year and a half or so, not to say that they celebrate too much, but you don't necessarily see enough of that passion, that side of passion. I mean, like that the anger, like what the fuck, let's get better. And we see that even with like earlier, and I don't even think they ever even made a big deal out of it. But I remember Declan Rice and Gabriel kind of yelling at each other. I forget what game it was, but immediately after they were both like, "Nah, man, like that's my boy." And even now, like they have that such a great relationship. Like that's just brothers like fighting. Like if you have siblings, I have siblings. Like we fight and we get over it and we move on. So that's what I want to see. So I'm cool with that. Like that lets me know like like as much as we wanted as fans, these guys probably want it more than we do. And that's what we want. We want to see that. So good for them, man. I'm sure they'll be fine. They were fine like 20 minutes later.
Yeah, for sure, bro. So transfer deadline day was today. Transfer window's closed now. As expected, no business done. We weren't really hearing any strong rumors. We know that in general, this transfer window has been really quiet for all Premier League teams. It seems with financial fair play rules, everyone's worried now. Before it was like before this points deduction that Everton got, people I don't think were taking it so seriously. And it was like, oh, we'll worry about it later. But now I think all the teams are like, "Oh, we got to be careful here. We do not want to be getting points deducted." And for us, ideally, we wanted to get a striker in. It's not happened. Other positions as well, we're thinking about maybe in midfield with Partey's injury problems, maybe a fullback as well. Haven't done any business, but this is the squad we started the season with, and it's the squad we added to in the summer. We did make some good buys in the summer, especially Declan Rice. So it is what it is. Move on to the summer transfer window and look to improve the team more then. But for now, we just concentrate on what we've got. As I say, hopefully, we keep our players fit as much as possible. We don't get too many suspensions, and hopefully, we can have a title challenge.
Yeah, yeah. So I was also a little bit disappointed, but I was expecting this to happen. Like, well, really nothing to happen, and I think a lot of it has to do with financial fair play, which I think in the long run is a good thing. It would have been probably more upsetting if a bunch of other teams were doing things and we weren't doing anything. Like that would have been very, very annoying. Excuse me. But nobody did anything outside of like some loan moves. I know we sold an academy kid or whatever. Um, so yeah, I mean, this is the you dance with the partner that brung you is a saying that I hear a lot. And that's what we're gonna have to do. This is the team that we started with at the beginning of the year, and this is the team that we're gonna roll with. Um, Thomas Party, I think, is to the level where he's healthy enough to practice with the team, and he's gonna build into the team. And I think the overall strategy around his injury is smart. Like from what I've heard, is that ultimately I think he's gonna step out of like international play and focus on getting healthy and prolonging his career. And I think that's only going to benefit us. Fabio Vieira, he's good depth. Tomiyasu is probably, I mean, he's still going to be out for a while because of the Asian Cup. And then Yuri and Timber, we might be able to get him for like a stretch run at the end of the year. But I think even overall, like, everybody that we need currently right now is healthy enough to play. And hey, listen, like, we're 5 points back right now. We're about to play Liverpool, and we could be 2 points back at the end of the day on Sunday. And it's not like we're in a desperation mode right now. And I don't think if there was a striker that was going to have that kind of an impact, the team we were going to get him from was not like we were going to have to spend stupid amount of money. And so, if we wanted to get a striker of that kind of quality, we're probably not going to find it in January. Kind of the same thing with all the other positions. That's just the reality of it. Sometimes you get a transfer window like last time where, we almost got Mudryk. We ended up with Trossard and Jorginho. That for me almost felt like an exception versus like something that normally happens. So, yeah, I mean, it was boring. It's boring for the folks that really look forward to transfer windows, but ultimately, I like the guys we've got. We got Emil Smith Rowe back. I mean, that's something I didn't even mention, but he put in a solid 70 minutes. I mean, you could be a stickler and say, well, he was kind of a ghost. But no, man, I mean, he was doing all the little things that were there. So, as what's his name? Arsene Wenger used to say, like, it's kind of like a new signing, and hopefully he can stay healthy. And I mean, I think he can impact us as much as a new signing could, or could have.
Yeah, for sure, bro. He's hopefully gonna stay injury free now. He's had a hard time with injuries. He was flying a couple of seasons back, playing really well, scoring goals. I mean, them injuries really set him back. So hopefully he can stay injury free and get some good minutes behind him and build up his confidence. And as I was saying, this is the squad we started the season with. We do have depth there, being a bit unlucky with some injuries we've had this season. Party and Timber, we've not seen them much at all. Timber, not at all, apart from that first game. And Party has missed so many games. So hopefully he's, as you say, he's coming back in. Timber soon as well. Tommy Yasu will come back from Asia Cup as well. And we should be all right as long as I'm about to say the main concern for me is like Gabriel Jesus. If he can stay fit for most of the rest of the season, that's a big difference for us. He really does make, even if he's not getting as many goals as
Yeah.
he can, we would like a striker to hopefully be able to get. It's the team play, the way he makes us play better. He's so vital for us. So let's talk a little bit about our rivals then and their recent form. Let's start with Liverpool. Let's start with Man City actually, because we're going to preview the game against Liverpool shortly. So let's start with Man City. We saw they had a little bit of dip, and then they went to the World Club Championships, won that, came back in the Premier League, won every game since. They're looking really strong. De Bruyne is back now. He started his first game the other day. He's been coming off the bench. We've been easing him back into it, but now he started his first game. Haaland was on the bench for their last game. He came on, so he's going to be back for him as well. They're just going to get stronger and stronger. We know what they like. Second half of the season, they really kick on. They've done it for so many years and it's worrying seeing how good they're looking.
Yeah. The last game they lost was December 6th. They've won every single game but one, a 2-2 draw against Crystal Palace. And yeah, they've won every game while at the same time not even necessarily looking spectacular, save for maybe the last three games. That Newcastle game for me was just kind of like, oh hell, like here they come. I thought, the FA Cup game, Tottenham and City, we watched that in New Orleans. Um, they kind of got, it's just one of those, they kind of got lucky. I thought Tottenham went toe to toe with them. And then Burnley, it just wasn't even worth watching. I knew what the result was going to be. Um, I don't think they're going to, I think they're about to turn it on. Yep, as you said. And, if we can do our part as well and make this a three-horse race, because I know for sure that City are, even though they're level on points with us, um, they have a game in hand and they're going to be City and they're getting De Bruyne back and Holland's on the bench nursing an injury and he's going to come back. And even I'll take 70-60% Holland any day. Like if that's all I'm going to get out of him, fine. So if this is an injury that's serious enough that's going to hamper him a little bit, it's still going to make him dangerous, man, and it's annoying. But that's who they are. So as you said, as we've been harping on, and as we'll talk about it this next one, it's going to be very important for us to continue getting better as a team because City are starting to turn it on, man. And I'm saying that knowing that they haven't lost since the beginning of December, so it's been a long time, and we're in February 1st, so here they come, man. It's terrifying, but this is a yearly thing.
Yeah, bro. And then Liverpool. I've been watching their games recently and they are looking so strong. Even without Salah, it seems like they're really gelled nicely and they're able to create so many chances in all the games I've seen them. They're scoring goals. Their defense is looking better as well. People are saying their defense is their weakness, be on the shaky side. Van Dijk's really stepped up as well. He's looking back to his best and they are looking a big threat. When I was watching the game against was yesterday against Chelsea, thinking maybe Chelsea might be able to do something there, grab a draw, saying that would help us out. Didn't happen that way. Chelsea were lucky it was only four. They could have had a lot more. Nunes himself hit the post bar 4 times. That's a record. They said like in a game with one player, like hitting the
That's
bar
insane.
poster bar. They could have had 10 goals really in that game. They were looking so good. Also, we heard the news about Klopp has decided that he's going to be leaving at the end of the season. So that again saying that could galvanize them to really want to go out on a high for him. So it is a big threat. Again, it's not just Man City this time. Last season, we're just looking at it was only Man City that was up there with us, and obviously we're very worried about them. But this time got to worry about Man City again, but also Liverpool. They are looking dangerously strong.
Yeah, man, and they've been doing it. They've suffered a lot of injuries, man, and to their credit, they have good depth, and the players that they've brought in to replace injured players have stepped up and done the job. Not spectacularly or anything like that, but just good enough. And 15 wins, six draws, and one loss. one of those draws to us. Yeah, they're they give me that feeling of the team we had last year. And so, how are you going to stop a team that's just flying right now? And as we recall, teams were able to do that as the season goes on. And but I will say this: I think when it comes to our, this is going to be the third time in less than or pretty much a month that we've played them. Um, I thought we played better than them the last two times. Now, granted, we drew 1-1. We lost 2-0 in the FA Cup. But that second goal in the FA Cup came late. But man, we should have won that game. And I know coulda, shoulda, woulda. That's so annoying, but we played well enough to win that game. We played well enough to win at Anfield. And Mo Salah, that moment of greatness, was able to do it. So credit to them, right? They've taken a draw with us, and then they beat us in the FA Cup. But I will say, I think that's going to be enough motivation for us to step up at home. And if we are with this thought and this mindset, like, hey, this is make or break, this is pretty much the season. I know damn well Arteta's instilling it in these guys, and we've been in this position, and we've seen it slip away. And I think that's where that experience is going to come to play in a positive way. I think we're going to do well. I think it's going to be a tight game, but I think, as everything I've said, the past experience, what we've gone to, this team has gone through a lot. And even as we've been struggling and have not been at our best, by God, we're 5 points back. We're three. We have 14 wins, 4 losses, 4 draws. We're not playing shit football, but we're playing really, really well. The standards are raised. We know that as fans. They know that as players and staff and as a club. So I think like we're going to see a motivated and fired up team, not that dissimilar from what we saw last year at Anfield, where this was a team that beat us so many times, dominated us, and we just came out and hit them in the mouth from the jump. I don't know if it's going to happen like that, sort of necessarily like the same thing, but we're going to go toe to toe with them again because we did go toe to toe with them at Anfield. And the FA Cup, I mean, yeah, they beat us 2-0, but that one kind of was a wash or whatever. Kind of annoying, but I think we're going to do well. And I'll predict similar score to last year, though, 3-2. A little bit of a barn burner, man, and very exciting 3-2 match in the Arsenal's favor.
Oh, bro, I'm nervous, man. I'm nervous. Like, it's just thinking about the prediction and like, oh man,
Yeah.
it's really hard game to call. As you said in the FA Cup game, we played so well. 80 minutes, we were a dominant team overall. We had so many chances in that first half. We just couldn't put the ball in the net in the end. Like, it's just, it's so frustrating. But if we play like that again, and this time we put the ball in the net, then we've got a great chance to win that game. Just defensively, we've got to make sure we're solid because their attack, as I was saying to you, is just looking so dangerous from all angles. They've got so many options. Like, even with Salah out, you've got the likes of Gakpo, Diaz, Jota's firing, Nunes. Like, he gets a bit of stick, but he's such a good player. Like, he's not scoring as many as they would hope for, but he is so dangerous. We saw that he's able to create many chances, as well as, them 4 opportunities that he missed. And another day he would have got a couple of them, hitting. It's a matter of a few inches hitting the post and the bar. So much danger in their attack, and they've got a lot of squad depth as well. Like, we've seen some of the young players coming in as well, doing really well. And yeah, that's Trent's back now as well. So is Robertson. Not sure if they're even going to start this game. So they've got many options, and we really got to be defensively on our game, and then just take our chances. And we've got every chance to beat them. We're at home. Our record at Emirates is strong. We rarely, rarely lose here. So got to be positive and take the game to them again. Hopefully, we beat Man City here. No reason why we can't beat Liverpool here too, and it's massive. Would you say this game is season defining? Like, for you, if we win, then obviously we're right back in the title race. But if we were to lose, you think we'll be out of the title race?
Um, I'm gonna say no. Like, say we were to lose, I think if we were to lose, then our title race is on life support. But I still think there's enough season left, and a lot can happen that, um, if we can if we were to some unfortunately lose for some reason, and we needed to like we have enough time to bounce back and make a go of it. I don't think it's over. So yeah, I would say that. So I mean, it's still a crucial game, and we need to win. But I don't think it's the end of the world yet. If uh if we lose, but it's like getting really close, and then we really are making it difficult on ourselves. If winning the title is our standard, yeah, I mean it's going to hurt, but it's pretty much a kill shot. I'll just say it like that. Yeah, we need to win because if we lose, we have a really tough hill to climb. Because not only are we going to have to overcome the point gap with Liverpool, but City's right there, and we all know what City does. So yeah, we're just it's a three-horse race, and it's really difficult to be the third one. Looking up at two people, like two, right? When you're in a race, like you'd rather be up there in the top two at the very least. So yeah, man, we got to win.
No, bro. I'm gonna go for a 2-1 win for us.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I was contemplating 4-3 in like a really high scoring one or a 3-2,
yeah.
but I think there's a lot on the line, so maybe be a bit cagey. Both teams are gonna like to attack as well, so it could be a lot of goals. Like I say, really hard game to call. Uh, could end up a draw. I can't see us getting beat here, but then, like I say, they are really in good form. They're gonna be coming in full of confidence and looking to get the win. So it should be a really good open game, and should be seeing at least a few goals. I'll go 2-1. So, bro, as we normally do, I will get some predictions for you for some of the other key games coming up this weekend. So, yeah, so starting with on Saturday, the early kickoff is Everton versus Tottenham.
Oh, yeah. As much as I want to pick Everton to win this at home, they've not looked good at all lately. I think whatever magic they had when they lost the 10 points and were kind of like on a big bounce, they don't look good anymore. I'm not predicting them to win. I think they lose 2-0 to Tottenham. As much as I hate to say it because I hate Tottenham, but yeah, they don't have anything for Tottenham.
Okay, and then a team that is flying just won 4-0 in their last game. Luton, they're going away to Newcastle, who had a good win at Aston Villa as well.
Oh yeah, I saw the highlights and I kind of want to go back and actually watch it because yeah, they look good, man, and they look like a team that's obviously getting hot at the right time. Maybe they end up staying in the Premier League, man. But and then also Newcastle. I was happy for once that they won because they beat Villa, so that's one less title chaser, right? Newcastle at home, we'll see because Newcastle have been bad for a long time, and they kind of we'll have to see if they can maintain whatever momentum they've built from that win because they've been bad for a long time and they had one good win. I don't know about that. Luton is a hot team. Uh, you could even argue that they've been good all year, just not good enough in terms of the talent and quality, and they haven't been getting the results. But they're tough. They're a tough go, man. As we saw ourselves, and then as we saw this past week. Uh, I'm gonna say a 2-2 draw. How about that?
Okay, yeah, it'll be interesting. I didn't get my prediction for the Tottenham Everton. I'll go for the Tottenham Everton, I'll go 2-1 for Tottenham. But this
Okay.
one, I think yeah, Luton, they're strong at home, they're not so strong away. I think Newcastle, are a difficult team to play at their ground, as we know. I'll go 3-1 Newcastle. Okay, and then on the Sunday, Man United had a good win today, 4-3. That was a crazy game. They've got West Ham at home.
Uh, West Ham at home. You can never know what to do with sorry about that. You never know what to get out of Manchester United, right? They're they look good and then they look terrible all in the same game too. Um, You know what? I'm gonna predict West Ham shocks them in Old Trafford. We'll say 2-1, late winner.
Okay, yeah, I think Man United should get some confidence for that. They got a lot of issues going on as well. We saw that whole stuff with Rashford. Uh, 2-1 Man United in that one. I'll go for as well. Okay, then Chelsea vs Wolves.
Chelsea and Wolves. Ooh, you know what? Chelsea, anytime I kind of think, oh, you know what, they might pull a result today and help us, kind of like yesterday, or really anytime, really, I'm never gonna pick Chelsea to win. I'm not gonna change my mind this time. I think Wolves will beat them 3-1. It'll be close, but then Wolves pull away at the end. Their injury bill is empty. Wolves. They're a healthy team. Uh, they're playing with some confidence. They're 11th now. I'll give them the win, 3-1.
Okay, I'm gonna go for a 1-1 draw in that. All right, and then the final game I'll ask you for is it's on a Monday night, Brentford against Man City.
Oh, please, Brentford. I need Neil Maupay to get under the skin of one of their players, man. Oh, it's gonna be at home for Brentford. God, we need an upset, man. We need a win and we need an upset. And I think we'll be in such a different kind of mood next week when we talk again. I don't know if I see it though, but you know what? I'll go and I'll say Brentford because they've done it before. I think if I'm got my teams right, we're gonna say 2-1 Brentford, tight game, and then they pull off a late winner. We'll see. 2-1.
Yeah, oh man, I love to see that. I just think City now are in such a strong bit of form. You know, momentum's with them. They got some key players back. We already know how good they are. I mean, now they've got De Bruyne and Haaland back in, so I think they're going to win 3-1. But yeah,
All
bro,
right.
let's see. Let's hope Brentford can do something. But main thing, let's take care of our business. Come on, boys. We've got to beat Liverpool. Massive, massive game for us. So, yeah, so that's all from us. Thanks so much for your time today, bro.
My pleasure, bro. Looking forward to talking to you next week when Brentford wins, when we win, and we're 2 points behind Liverpool, ready to take this title race into high gear. But come on, Arsenal, let's go.
Yes, boys. Come on, Arsenal. So that's all from us. Thanks for watching, everyone. Please remember to subscribe, like, and share.